Hello students, I hope you are doing well, studying properly and learning all your concepts. The Wicked Fairy Part 2. This is the second part of the story. In it we will read and feel the destiny. Whatever happens in the world is by God's wish only. The princess' birthday came. It is time, said the three gold fairies. In the evening, a farmer's son was returning from the field with his spade on his shoulder. The good fairies were in the river and they sang. Over the little waves we run and play with the light of the setting sun, and ride on the wings of the gentle breeze, the waves in the river and the leaves on the trees, and we fairies wait for the prince to come. The young man was very tired after day's work, but his mind was peaceful. He put his spade down, washed his face, and sat down near the water. There was the sound of the breeze blowing through 1,000 trees and over thousands and thousands of little waves in the river. He sat listening and his heart was full. He heard the soft song of the fairies and they spoke to him. "You are the prince who must set the princess free," they said. "But I am the farmer's son and I grew up on a farm," said the young man. The young man said, "I am just a farmer's son और मैं तो एक farm पे grow हुआ हूँ." "You have a prince's heart," replied the fairies. "Go and find the princess." The man set out at once and soon reached the wicked fairy's castle. Inside the gate there was a garden with many kinds of flower, roses, champaks, lilies, and so on. In the center of the garden, there was a pond with lotus and water lilies. When the young man went into the garden, जो roses और चंपक और lilies थे, they moved in the breeze and whispered to one another. The prince, there was a lovely lotus in the pond, looked at the young man and smiled. The wicked fairy asked the young man to solve her riddles. He solved the first riddle. Thus, "I should listen more than I speak. That is why I have 2 ears but only 1 tongue." He solved the second riddle thus: "I work in the field to earn bread for my old parents and for me. So I must do a lot of work. That is why I have 2 hands. I should not eat all the food I grow. That is why I have only 1 mouth." He solved the third riddle thus: "My mind should rule my body. That is why my head is above the body. My body would obey my mind. That is why my body is under my head." Now the wicked fairy lost all her power. "Where is the princess?" asked the young woman. "When you came in," the fairy replied, "you saw a garden with roses, champaks and lilies and a pond in the middle of the garden. That is where the princess is. She is a big lotus in the pond." "Where are the 10 young princes?" The fairy said. "At the foot of this hill there is a field with 10 tall handsome trees. That is where the 10 princes are, and the 10 handsome trees are the young princess." The next moment the wicked fairy turned into a bird and all her servants turned into birds too. "You will be singing bird for 10 years, said the young man to the wicked fairy. "Then you will become a good and happy fairy," he said. Then the young man went to the garden. The lovely big lotus smiled at him again. The next moment, in the place of the lotus, she saw a lovely princess. "Let us go to the field at the foot of the hill," said the young man. "That is where the 10 young princes are." When they came to the field, the trees waved their branches with joy and welcomed them. The next moment 10 handsome princes stood in front of them. The young farmer went back to look after his farm and his old parents. The lotus princess lived with him and worked with him in the fields. The bad fairy, now a poor bird, and her servants often sat in the trees in the fields. This is where the lovely lotus princess works, the fairy said. Let us sing to her. Their song became sweeter and sweeter every day. The gentle princess always loved flowers. She understood their little language and looked after them kindly. She also understood the language of the green corn and the fine trees in the fields and looked after them with love. Word meaning: spade, a shovel, tired, weary, handsome, smart, peace, freedom from war, blow, blossoming. Wicked, evil, moment, a very short time, looked after, cared for. A farmer's son was returning from the field. ये सब आप खुद से करोगे. This also you'll do on your own. Fill in the blanks. Over the little waves we run and play in the light of the setting sun. Similarly, आप ये सारे खुद से लिखोगे. ये भी आप खुद से करोगे. True or false? The old man was very tired and worried. The old man was doing his work. ये आप खुद से करोगे. Subjective type questions. From where and with what was the farmer returning? The farmer was returning from his field with his produce. बाकी आप खुद से करोगे. This also you'll do on your own. Writing skills. Describe an unwelcome guest to your household. You have to describe a unwelcoming guest. Grammatical skills. For John, learning to drive was as easy as breathing. Make simple sentences from following compound sentences. Govit took his guard and prepared to face the new balls. Govit took his guard. He prepared to face the new balls. ऐसे ही आप बाकी भी करोगे. Activity skills. Make a group of 6 and discuss the courage of the farmer's son and write your views. You have to discuss the courage of the farmer's son. How he went there when he was not supposed to. अगर वो नहीं भी जाता तो भी उसको कभी पता नहीं चलता या उसकी कोई गलती नहीं होती. But he still went and he brought back not only the princess but also the prince. I hope you understood this chapter properly. Read it again and revise all the questions to understand it even better.